On May 10, 2024, a New York City jury found Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, guilty. The charges were serious criminal conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and fraud. This verdict marked the first time in American history that a former president faced criminal convictions. The trial, lasting 6 weeks, captivated the nation and ignited fierce debates about accountability, the rule of law, and the future of American democracy. Trump's journey from the White House to a Manhattan courtroom was unprecedented. It stemmed from a years-long investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office into his business practices. The charges centered around allegations of tax evasion, falsifying business records, and illicit hush money payments. The prosecution painted a picture of a businessman who routinely flouted the law for personal gain. Trump, however, vehemently denied any wrongdoing, claiming political persecution by his opponents. The verdict sent shockwaves through the country, exposing deep political and societal fissures. Trump's supporters, many of whom view him as a victim of a deep state conspiracy, were outraged. They saw the trial as a politically motivated witch hunt designed to silence their champion. Conversely, Trump's detractors celebrated the verdict as a victory for justice and a resounding affirmation that no one is above the law, not even a former president. The trial and its outcome served as a stark reminder of the fragility of American democracy. It underscored the importance of an independent judiciary and the peaceful transfer of power. The nation watched with bated breath as the legal process unfolded, a testament to the enduring strength of American institutions even in the face of extraordinary challenges. The charges against Trump were multifaceted, stemming from a complex web of business dealings and financial transactions. Central to the case was the allegation that Trump, while serving as president, directed his then lawyer, Michael Cohen, to make hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. These payments, the prosecution argued, were intended to silence Daniels about an alleged affair with Trump and influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. The trial itself was a spectacle with high-profile witnesses, dramatic courtroom confrontations, and intense media scrutiny. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence, including financial records, emails, and testimony from former Trump associates. They argued that Trump's actions constituted a clear pattern of criminal behavior, driven by a desire to protect his image and political ambitions at all costs. The defense, in turn, sought to discredit the prosecution's case, portraying it as politically motivated and lacking in concrete evidence. They argued that the payments to Daniels were unrelated to the campaign and were made for personal reasons. Trump's lawyers also attacked the credibility of some witnesses, suggesting they were motivated by personal animus or a desire to strike a deal with prosecutors. Despite the defense's efforts, the jury ultimately found the prosecution's case more persuasive. The verdict, reached after days of deliberation, was a major blow to Trump, both legally and politically. It marked a significant setback for the former president, who had repeatedly asserted his innocence and vowed to fight the charges. The political fallout from Trump's conviction was immediate and far-reaching. The Republican Party, already deeply divided over Trump's legacy, found itself in uncharted territory. Some Republicans, particularly those who had distanced themselves from Trump after the January 6th Capitol attack, condemned the verdict but called for a measured response. They urged their fellow Republicans to respect the legal process and avoid inflammatory rhetoric. However, many within the Republican base remained fiercely loyal to Trump. They viewed the verdict as a politically motivated attack by a corrupt establishment determined to silence their champion. These sentiments were amplified by right-wing media outlets, which echoed Trump's claims of a witch hunt and accused Democrats of weaponizing the justice system for political gain. The verdict also had significant implications for the upcoming presidential election. Trump, who had announced his candidacy for a second term, remained a formidable force within the Republican Party. His conviction, however, cast a long shadow over his campaign, raising questions about his electability and his ability to unite a fractured party. The Democratic Party, while largely united in its condemnation of Trump's actions, was also grappling with the implications of the verdict. Some Democrats saw it as an opportunity to finally hold Trump accountable for his alleged crimes and move on from the turmoil of his presidency. Others, however, worried that the verdict could backfire, galvanizing Trump's base and further dividing the country. As news of the verdict spread, the nation reacted with a mixture of shock, anger, and relief. Public opinion, sharply divided along partisan lines, reflected the deep polarization that had come to define American politics. For Trump's supporters, the verdict was a travesty, a confirmation of their belief that the system was rigged against them. Many viewed Trump as a victim of a coordinated effort by the media, the Democratic Party, and even some within his own party to destroy him. They saw the trial as a politically motivated show trial designed to silence a powerful voice that challenged the status quo. Rallies and protests erupted in cities across the country, with Trump supporters expressing their outrage and vowing to fight for his exoneration. On the other side of the political divide, Trump's detractors breathed a collective sigh of relief. For years, they had watched in dismay as Trump escaped accountability for his actions, both during his presidency and before. The verdict, they believed, was a long overdue reckoning, a sign that no one, not even a former president, was above the law. Celebrations erupted in liberal enclaves, with people taking to the streets to express their satisfaction with the verdict. Social media platforms were flooded with messages of support for the prosecution and condemnation of Trump. The verdict, while deeply divisive, offered a glimmer of hope that the rule of law could still prevail in an era of hyper-partisanship.